Okay, we have the program started. We have our Trello account here. This is what the user is going to set their account, their information, and they're going to save it to the local database. And we're going to use that to help authenticate our calls. That allows the user to set up more than one account. So we can clean this up a little bit. As you can see, here's the is active in the name. And we have our key and our token fields. So we might as well go ahead and okay. So we added an account there that we can use to test. We're going to have to delete this later once we get ready to create our setup. So let's click the board. Now obviously there's no board being retrieved because we haven't created the script to retrieve it. So let's go to the tools and we'll click get script. Now the quickest way that we're going to do this is we're going to go to our snippets and we're going to click the create records. We're going to select the account type, which is our Trello account. Like I said, this is the account that we're saving to the local database. And we're going to select the form type that we're going to be getting back, and that would be our board. And we'll click finish. So we generated most of what we need to make this call. When we make a REST call, we need a base URL. It should be on just about all of the, it should be the same for Trello. It's this field right here. That is the base. So if you were to go and pretty much, it'll be the same on all of these fields. So what we'll do is we'll copy that. And we'll place it right into that field with some quotation marks. So that's our URL. And we're going to resource. So since we're going to be calling this for getting, updating, creating, and deleting, not just the boards, but the memberships, the cards that we're going to add to the boards, we need a resource so we have access just to the boards. Each of the members, the boards, the cards will have a different resource. But I know in order to get all my boards, I need to use this resource. This is basically my account, all the boards on my account. We're going to set those variables because we're going to use those in the REST call. So this is the main URL and then the resource. What we're going to do is we're getting all the accounts, all those Trello accounts. So if we have more than one, we are going to get them all and get the boards for each account. And we're going to loop them all. We're going to lop them all together into a collection and we're going to display that collection into the grid. So here's our loop records. Since we only have one account, it's just going to loop through once, and then we can access that account through the current account variable. We're going to get the REST service. This is what we're going to use to make our REST call. And we need to set our authentication here. Now, for this API, we're using the key and the token. So we're going to get the key and the token from the current account and put that into a variable. Go under databases. And we're going to get the properties. Get property. Oops. We'll get the key property. We're going to select our Trello account and the API key. We want the current account, and we're going to put that into a API key variable. There we go. Let's go back to there. So we got the key value from the account that was stored in our database. Let's get the token. We need the token too. Same thing. We're going to create a API token variable. You want to make sure and change the name of these so you know what's going on. You're going to lose track of everything if you don't get token value. Okay, when we're getting the accounts and we're looping through each account, we're going to get the key value and the token for the current account. And we're going to set that, I think it was, we need to create, as you can see, we need to set these as query parameters, like this. So we're going to use query parameters. These are query parameters. So we need to go down to the rest area, and our parameters area, and query. We want to add a query parameter. So we're going to select our REST call service. This is what's going to do the call. We're going to type in the name key, and we're going to select the value, the API key variable. And we're going to do the same thing with the token. Okay, now we're setting the key and the token parameter. You have to make sure the name is exactly the same as what you see in the docs. So we use the key, lowercase, and we use token here. Now there's another field that we can set. It's a fields field, a query parameter, and it allows us to get particular fields. If we want just the name, we can get the name, but we're going to set that to all. We're going to bring it all back. So we're going to add another query parameter, and we're going to call it fields. REST call service, and we'll type in the word fields, just like it is on the docs. And we're just going to type in all for the value, because we want all the fields. Okay, so we're setting up our REST call. We're setting the authentication here, and we're going to do a collection REST call. This means we're going to get back a list of records, and it's going to convert it to the board form and set all the properties and that from that JSON that we saw earlier. And it's going to set the accounts to these records. So when we do a update, we're going to know what account that record came from in order to be able to do the update, which we'll see in a different video. And in order for us to, for the forms to show up for the end user, we need to set all these forms that we're getting to the script output. That's important. Otherwise, we're retrieving the records, but we're not actually outputting them. So the form will. So that's it. Most of the work is already done. So let's click Save and click Close. And we'll click on there. And now we have boards showing up from the account. If we double click on it, we can see our members are showing up here. We don't have any update logic, any update script set, so we cannot change this and save it. If we opened up a member, that's the same way. We don't have a new or update or delete on there, but we can go to the tools and do the same thing. We can create a new script, an update script, and a delete script. This gets trickier because we want to be able to add this member to a board, but I'll show you how to do that in another demo. The next one, we're going to create a new board.